talking to you about the LGBTQ equality and rights and sharing my personal experiences. So let's start with this boy in my class who every time I walked past him would call me a gay freak and throw homophobic insults at me, which made me want to hide away and stop going to school altogether. Also, my trans friend was getting insults yelled at him as well. Now, I need you to listen for what I say next. What if every time you walked into a room, you get questioned about your gender? What if every time you walked into a room, you got told somebody could fix you? What if every time you walked into a room, you'd get made fun of because of who you love? How would this make you feel? There's no point wasting your time insulting people for who they are. Some people deal with bullying from school, on the streets and at home. This shouldn't be allowed and should be stopped. We all have something done about it. Thank you for listening.
Oh my God.
Hi, my name is Ibrahim and I'm years old, 13. There are people who not have clothes and food. They don't have family and friends. They don't have
The basic things in life. Let's think about how we can help them. And thank you.
Hello, my name is Eloise. I'm 14 and I'm here to talk about safety. What would a town look like if there was no safety, no laws? What would it feel like if everywhere you looked there was fighting, violence? See, we've been told our whole lives to be careful of who's around, but why should we be the ones having to be careful? You turning a blind eye to a violent action and the seconds it takes to walk away can be the reason someone's scared to leave their own home, the reason they cannot walk alone at night. You don't know what to do, so you look at the situation, viewing the people. You don't know who they are. It could be anyone, so you turn away, letting the feeling of guilt overtake you, like you could have done something, but you never. You don't know what you've done. Another person comes along falling victim to this attack, with no one there to stop it. You don't know what to do, you don't know who they are, and you don't know what you've done. We all have people we care deeply about, so why turn your back on others? Why sit there and let innocent people fall victim to this? This has happened for too long. In 1964, Kitty Genovese was murdered outside her block of flats. Her neighbours ignored her desperate cries for help, as the girl was brutally attacked 3 times by the same man. We cannot lose lives to something so simple to fix. If someone had stepped in for Kitty, she would have lost her life. And if you step in for someone, you can save one. We need a change and it must start now.
Louise, that was brilliant. That was really good.
Amazing.
My name is Amy and I'm a 14, nearly 15-year-old child, and I'm here to talk about climate change. When I was 12, I nearly drowned, kind of how the planet is drowning now. However, as I clung onto rocks to live, our planet can't. Our common home is grasping for breath, as we do too. We all try to cling towards change, to pull ourselves forward, towards the future, a world of clean air and clear waters. But once again, we're dragged back under by each wave of our own ignorance and greed. The rich refuse to help, yet live in luxury, while the poorest people live an insignificant life. We pollute our air, we pollute our land, we pollute ourselves. But it doesn't have to end like this, does it? Done.
Yes. Yes.
Well
Done.
done.
Brilliant.
Hi, I'm Theo, I'm 17, and this is my poem, Our Space, Our Place. These are our spaces, our streets and our homes. It's our turn to tear down the old. If we're having a revolution, we are going to build back better. We have been let down time and time again by people who have told us they will give the world to us. It's time for us to take it. We deserve to live loudly, with no terms and conditions. When we have no dedicated space, the lines between here and there are blurred, and we are living in between. There are footsteps echoing in my ears, all the young people, all the kids. aching to make a difference. It sounds like a melody. And they shape this town in ways that we can't see yet, in bonds forged and memories almost forgotten that glint and shimmer in the moonlight. These kids run this town. The ebb and flow of traffic is kids getting taken to their sports, their arts clubs, the next pro footballers, artists and prime ministers. Take their accusations of selfishness. Use them to build 4 walls around yourself. Create a space for us to exist, to just be.
I never know what I'm supposed to do with that.
And scene.
Good afternoon. My name is Fatma. My main message is save our beautiful planet. Why do people throw the rubbish on the roads? Why? And all over the streets. Why do people don't think about people who are uncomfortable? In the past was the greatest time because people would always think about one another's. I wish we all could go back. This time we need to be together because teams always wins. Let's stop affecting our world.
Yes! Hey! Sorry, what were you saying? Oh, I am nervous.
My name is Ash, I'm 17 and I'm going to be speaking about LGBT plus rights. I remember when I first realised I wasn't straight. Not the exact day, it didn't dawn on me like remembering why I forgot my keys. It happened because of a girl, who at the time I had a silly little crush on. And at that moment I was filled with so much anxiety. I always knew that deep down I liked girls too, but once I finally accepted that as fact, my first thoughts were ones of fear. Fear of hate, fear of despair, and fear of rejection. And it wasn't because of that girl. Those feelings were rooted in society, and even to this day, those fears of society stay with me. Did you know that conversion therapy is still legal in the UK? All because of a religious loophole within the law. Such a barbaric practice is still happening in these modern times. Homophobia is far too accepted in today's society. Have you ever had slurs shouted at you walking down the street, or felt unsafe just hanging out with your partner? Because I have. And let me tell you that that is the worst feeling to have. The risk is even higher for trans use. This year, a law was passed to stop under 18s from getting hormones, and only weeks after this, child suicide rates almost doubled and have only rose since then. In a world that's growing ever more accepting, there is still far too much homophobia in society and in the law, and it is not acceptable. As a society, we are killing this world's youth before they can become adults. We're destroying the souls of this world's future. Do you really want to push away the people who will soon make up the largest percentage of the planet's population? Stop homophobia and spread love. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Aidan. Today I want to give you my insight on wealth inequality and how that has affected me. A symptom of inequality can be desperation, a symptom I am all too familiar with. Growing up, desperation drove me to sell drugs to keep a roof over my head and food in my stomach. My desperation made me inflict suffering just to escape my own. Is £240 enough for you and your family to last a month? Could you survive and decide between food or heat? Would you thrive or die on these ungrateful streets? Hateful statements make generalisations a commonplacement. All you dolies are lazy. Dope replaces hope, going crazy because of the way that they play me. Give me 20 minutes to have a smoke and then I can cope. Slide the slippery slope and enjoy the joke. We have value, so you thought, or so we were taught. But all of our time is bought and rarely paid for. I wish I could say more, but I cannot. That's all.
My name is Lizzie Lovejoy, and today I'm going to be talking about wealth inequality. Do you know who I am? I can give you the gist in the form of a list. I am so high, with grey eyes, big thighs and a dress, and I can stress those characteristics. But do you know who I am? Let me break it down more, let me get to the core of the matter, because what matters isn't what you see. What makes me me lies in the history of my community, my family, their experience and mine. There is a line that connects us that can never be torn, and I have worn that as a badge of honour. But we are the people that the people pass, with their greener grass on the other side. We, underneath this ceiling of glass, we are the working class. And if you met my mum, you'd say there is someone who is underappreciated, who has demonstrated unconditional love for her children. And I look at my dad and I am so glad to say that I am a part of the same family chart. They have so much heart that they've missed meals and they've made deals, gotten into debt for the chance to get us, their children, enough to eat. It was a treat to have a real school uniform. And they helped me to grow, taught me to know, to show who I am with no shame. Working class parents working to pay rent. While having never been given the chance to advance, they provided me with every opportunity that they could. And they took me to the library until there wasn't one anymore. And you've heard that if you believe, you can achieve anything. But that is a lie. When you try, you will find that though some are behind you, there are systems, a structure built to push you aside, meant to hide all your voices, limit your choices, your ideas, your strengths, and your dreams, hide all of your screams in a queue at the food bank. Governments, they look at the price, they look at the cost, but the real cost lies in what we have lost, the loss of a library, the literary skill. But there is more to a book when you look through its pages. There are stages of learning, and mine has been taken. Would you feel ashamed? Is that because you have blamed people for their poverty, their class, and you give yourself a pass because that could never be me, but it could be any of us, and it has been. Just look at the pandemic, or the panic living on so little without the committal, assistance, persistence, or consistency of messages or support from those who hold the power. They devour their furlough and lay low while essential workers worked for scraps on behalf of those ivory tower chaps. Where is the pay rise for the girls and guys who kept the world alive, told they risk death to survive with their children, their husbands and wives? There is luxury to lockdown because the working class can't afford to pass up an opportunity for minimum wage hours. And it's luck of the draw. Your worth is a matter of birth. So close down the libraries, we don't matter. Put an end to sure starts, we don't matter. Defund our schools, we still don't matter. And yet we are the heart that makes every part of this nation exist. We persist because without us there would be breakdown. We need to take down the rules that prevent those who pay rent in council house homes from being able to grow. I will be in debt for as long as I am alive, and I'm not even 25, because it was required for a desired box in each job application for me to have a degree, or I would have no choice to exist, let alone advance, in a world where the minority hold the majority of the wealth. It is obscene the things that we have seen happening to a poor majority at the hands of an uncaring authority. They are killing us. But remember, for all the government intervention, all the vague ideas they mention, all the policy they discuss, if we go down, the country goes with us. Thank you.